John Carpenter, the creator of this franchise, of course, with Deborah Hill. Picked up a couple of awards in the last few weeks for his contributions to Halloween Ends in the form of the Halloween Ends soundtrack that, of course, Carpenter composed and performed with his kids, with his son Cody Carpenter and his godson Daniel Davies. And we'll go over here now to this post just after our last Michael Myers Monday live stream. You'll see that John Carpenter shared on his official social media accounts his appreciation to the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, also known as ASCAP, for another lovely award, he says, because once again, ASCAP has awarded John Carpenter and his bandmates with their Screen Music Award for his soundtrack to Halloween Ends. And there you can see John posing with the award. But that's not all, because a few days later, Fangoria would premiere their 2023 Chainsaw Awards. It was streamed on Shudder on May 21st. And while Terrifier 2 was the evening's big winner, Halloween Ends did take home one award, the one award it was nominated for. And that award went to, once again, John Carpenter, Cody Carpenter, and Daniel Davies for Best Score for Halloween Ends. Now, I've said it before that whether you love Halloween Ends or don't love it so much, I don't think many people had any problems with the score. And it was one of the genius moves of these last three movies, if you ask me. Not enough just to get Carpenter, kind of spiritually involved as executive producer. And apparently, he kind of previewed some of the scripts and gave a note or two on some of those. But most crucially, and I think most rewarding for us viewers and fans, was getting him to come back and do the three new soundtracks, all of which I think have been amazing. And so rightfully so, that what very well could be his last musical contribution to a Halloween franchise film, that they would be recognized with this year's Best Score Chainsaw Award from Fangoria. So very fitting indeed. In related John Carpenter news now, and this isn't exactly connected to the Michael Myers Halloween franchise, but in as far as it is to do with the creator himself, it is worth discussing here on Michael Myers Monday. John Carpenter appeared at Texas Frightmare this past weekend. Annual horror convention, meeting fans, signing autographs. There's a few videos that have popped up on social media of his appearance, and we're going to talk a little bit about that now. They actually screened, before the convention kicked off, they screened They Live and The Thing, and they dedicated an area theater in that region as the John Carpenter Cinema. And he was there for that, to cut an orange ribbon with a large kitchen knife with Michael Myers lurking just behind him. I thought that was pretty cool. There is video of that out there. But what we're going to talk about tonight is a panel discussion that took place. And the video is on YouTube right now. I did put a link to the video in the description of this video before we started tonight. I'm not going to play it right here. You can check it out at your leisure, but I will give you the headlines. And there are three significant statements, if you will, headlines that come out of this panel with John Carpenter. And in what order of importance they are depends on how you take the statements. And they are literally just that. They are statements. As many of you know, John Carpenter, he's not going to go out of his way to give a whole lot of in-depth answers on a lot of these questions. It's very, short, direct, in typical John Carpenter fashion. But in the course of this panel this past weekend, he does let it be known a few interesting tidbits that are worth noting here tonight. First, when someone questions Carpenter about the ending of The Thing, Carpenter's version of The Thing, of course, with that ambiguous ending of the two characters at the very end, which one is really the thing? Are they both? Are neither of them? It's never been answered, and Carpenter did not answer it here tonight on this panel. But what he did state that was of interest at the very end, he said, I'm not going to answer it because there may be a thing too. Now, you can take those words for what they're worth, and I don't know that it's worth a whole lot right now, but it is a statement. Like I said, there may be a thing too. Now, of course, the entire room erupted when he said that, and they didn't really elaborate or go on. And my personal feeling is that, yeah, I mean, it's probably in discussion, just like there's been Snake Plissken, Escape from New York reboots and requels in discussion for over a decade now. But the fact that something resembling a sequel to The Thing has reached his attention, has reached his desk, it's kind of significant. Enough that he would say it in that public forum like that. Pretty interesting. Another statement in the in the panel is when talking about the Lost Themes albums. Of course, these are the 3 albums of original music that John Carpenter, as the John Carpenter band, kind of, for lack of a better term, he and his son Cody Carpenter and godson Daniel Davies, of course, in addition to their soundtrack work on the Halloween films and Firestarter, they've released Lost Themes and then 2 other volumes, Lost Themes Volume 2 and Volume 3. Well, John confirmed that they are in fact currently working on Lost Themes Volume 4. So some brand new original music on the way in the future at some point from John Carpenter and his band. And then the third item that is of note that the horror master let be known during this panel, and he also mentioned it during that cinema dedication ribbon cutting after a screening of The Thing, when they were talking about him directing again. Apparently, guys, it's already happened. That's right. John Carpenter says in this panel that he has directed an episode of a TV series. It sounds like he's talking about an episode when he talks about it at the ribbon cutting. At the panel, it's a little less clear, but he directed it while sitting on his couch, so directed it virtually, in other words. He said he loved directing that way, and during the panel, he even gives us the title. He says it's going to be called John Carpenter's Suburban Scream. Now, I've scoured the internet this afternoon, of course, and I've not found anything about Suburban Scream yet online, but if you guys know something that we don't, let us hear from you in the comments or here in the live chat tonight. But the fact that not only are we getting new original music from John Carpenter and maybe discussion somewhere along the lines of a sequel to The Thing, and again, what involvement he might have in that, I have no idea, but I would hope soundtrack at the very least, right? Executive producers, script notes, soundtrack, kind of like they did with the Halloween films. I would assume that would be a no-brainer. But in addition to all that, some actual new John Carpenter directed content coming our way in the near future. So, you guys tell me what you make of all that. Again, I did put the link in the description that you can watch that panel video out of Texas Frightmare Weekend this past weekend with John Carpenter. Some other friends of ours were there at that horror convention over the weekend. Some of you were probably there. Let us know if you were. Nick Casso and James Jude Courtney were both there. John Carpenter says he was having fun at Texas Frightmare with The Shapes. And here's a great picture of the three of them backstage. You gotta love that. And they all shared it on their socials. James Jude Courtney shared it today, very fittingly, on Michael Myers Monday on Instagram. James says, always a joy to connect with the creator of the world. I am so blessed to inhabit in the OG shape. Two brilliant creatives. Can't argue with that. Can't argue with anything James says, because he's always right. Nobody says it better than James Jude Courtney.